Welcome. Another edition of the Cavalier Connection podcast. I'm your host, Jack Lowe, joined alongside by my dad once again, Jeff Lowe. How we doing tonight, Dad?
Doing good.
Doing good. Hey, lots of stuff to get to. A lot of activity when we're talking about the transfer portal, not just for football, but basketball as well. Coach Ryan Odom getting somebody internationally, which we're going to talk a lot about. Big get for him. And then also, as we know, Coach Elliott been very, very active in the portal for the football team. The Who's are looking real exciting as we're getting more and more deep with some of these positions, some big-time gets. We're going to talk all about that tonight. Also, NFL Draft was last week. I have a little bit to talk about with that with Jonas Sanker, the New Orleans Saints, and a couple other signings that happened. So we will get to that as well as our Mentor's Moment from this week. You don't want to miss any of it. But really quick, I want to let you know this episode is brought to you by our friends over at Mincer's. With reunions, spring sports, graduations, and the arrival of new students, it's a busy time on campus. Just a reminder, Mincer's is only a short walk from the lawn and has everything you need, whether you're a Who new to the area or returning. Right now, Mincer's is offering fantastic deals with their lawn to corner promotion, including savings of up to 65%. Visit Mincers.com online to check out all their specials and orange tag sales, or stop by their locations on the corner or at Stonefield Shopping Center. Again, that is Mincers.com. We were just there a couple weeks ago, huh?
Yes, we were.
Great store. So much to look at, so much to get. You're almost overwhelmed by all the gear in there. So be sure to go check them out today. All right, I think we're going to kick off with some basketball because we had a couple of additions. We had one today, and we had one the other day as well. We're going to talk about the one that everybody's excited about from a couple days ago. The German big man, is it going to be Johan Grunlow? Is that how you're going to pronounce it? I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be.
He's I can get it.
Yeah, that's right. He's 6'11". I've heard he's 7 foot 6'11". I've heard both of them. 6'11". Currently plays for SC Rasavekta in basketball Bundesliga. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing any of this wrong. He is a teammate of former Who Jaden Gardner, who we saw come through Virginia back in 2021. I think his senior year was. And the two have been the team's starting front court for each game this season. In the U18 European Championships 2023, he helped his country win bronze and was the top shot blocker at the tournament, which we love to hear becoming a Who, and was a projected second-round pick this year, so lots of excitement around this big man. There were some rumors swirling around about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, about him and how he could potentially commit to Virginia. And, hey, one of the biggest things that everybody in Wahoo Nation has been talking about, hey, we're doing really well in the portal when it comes to guards. We get a lot of great guards, not so much big men, though. And that's been the biggest issue with Odom's recruitment is we've been lacking the big man. This is a big man, though, and this could be a very good big man, I think. Very important to get him. Very good get, I'd say. Obviously, we'll see how it pans out. But Virginia, I feel like over the last however many years has just been struggling at that spot anyways. We have a tough time finding a big man, and sometimes they don't fit into the pack line well. We've got our big man now. Probably going to be our starting big man if I had to guess, or definitely as of right now until we get somebody else. A lot of excitement. Dad, what you got?
Yeah, and we're not running the pack line now, so
no.
Nope, that was a great get for Coach Odom. You get nervous because, you get rumored with a bunch of players, and you still get nervous as a Virginia fan because we always seem like we come out runners-up on these guys. But he's been playing professional basketball now, I believe, maybe since he was 16. Overseas they play early on, so he's playing with grown men. If he's playing with Jaden Gardner, that's a grown man. He's a big boy.
Uh-huh.
And if you're looking at his numbers, he's averaged this year 8.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, 1.8 blocks in 23 minutes a game. 13 games of double figures out of 33 games. But he's playing with grown men, only 23 minutes a game, 1.8 blocks. And I know Jay's talked about Coach Odom has one of his criteria is that in a center, he wants somebody who can block shots and who can shoot the ball. He did do an interview with Locker Room Access, which was pretty cool. So shout out to Locker Room Access. Also shout out to 24/7 Sports and Jackie Franchuli, where got a lot of our information from regarding these recruits. He said what he believes he's going to be able to bring to Virginia is rim protection And he says he's a playmaking big on offense, can pick and pop well, and believes he can shoot the ball from deep well. He says he's a good passer for a big man and always active in the pick and roll. And he's excited to play about the style that Coach Odom plays. And he likes to play fast and plays well in transition. So this would not have been a Bennett get, but it's an Odom get. And it was a position, as you said, was much of need. But then right before we're preparing for this episode, and I actually get in the car coming home from work, and lo and behold, another move is made at that.
You want to pronounce it?
Yeah, we'll see. Ugana Onyinso.
I'm gonna predict Ugana Onyinso.
Yep, and you're probably closer to me, but getting another big man. Not how big is he? Do you know? He might have been 7.
I'm not too sure. I'm gonna find that out right now. But he's big. Yes, he's gonna be a big man as well. And again, we talk about, you just said with the other guy, the shot blocking, so important. I think in today's game, just having a guy to deny at the rim, I think that's something that we have lacked forever at Virginia. If anything, in my entire lifetime, as far as shot, other than maybe a Ryan Dunn and an Anthony Robinson, maybe. But even then, that's not. These guys are shot blockers. You love to see that. And he came out of Kentucky originally. And if you're getting into a school like Kentucky for basketball, you're a pretty highly rated prospect. So that's good to see. Averaging 2.8 blocks a game there and 19 minutes a game. He got a nice amount of time at Kentucky, obviously. But it's good to see him coming here. I think he's going to fit the role a lot well. He's going to be running that front court with Johan Grunlow. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm going to try and find his hideout right now, though.
He well, real quick, we have had shot blocking in your lifetime because Diakite can send a shot as well.
Yeah, good.
But 2.8 blocks a game at Kentucky as a freshman, I believe. That's not bad. 19 minutes a game as a freshman.
We're looking at about 7 feet.
7 feet. So, I'm still, trying to read up on him a little bit. I actually mentioned him in the last episode with Jay, and I couldn't remember. I was looking everywhere on X. I had seen him rumored as potential, and I couldn't find him anywhere. But, he's supposed to be really good on that interior defensive center and a shot blocker. So, once again, fits the mold of what Coach Odom's looking for. And now if you look at our roster and you can update what I put down, at point guard, looking at a Chance Mallory and a Dalen Hall. You figured probably Hall will start. At the 2, you have Gertrude and White, and I believe White will probably start. But, reading on X, I see looks like Gertrude is going to be a full go.
Yeah, I know. I really hope so. I saw that as well. So I have a lot of hope for Gertrude. It's so crazy. He's the sole person left, him and Carter Lang.
And then at the 3, Sam Lewis. So probably some depth to look at there. Devin Tillis at the 4, and I believe his size 6'7" could probably play the 3 and the 4. Silas Barksdale and Martin Carrere, I believe they are potentially maybe a little bit on the project side. At the 5, now you've got Grunich and however you just said Onyenso and Carter Lang.
Onyinso, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what the broadcasters decide to make of it come the fall. But I'm really interested by Silas Barksdale, and obviously I covered him in high school, so I saw him a bunch. And 4-star, one of the best bigs, one of the best in Virginia, in the state of Virginia. And he was good in high school. I'm just worried about his weight. I think he's skinny like a toothpick. That's the problem. I don't know what his weight is, but he's tall. But I don't know. I think he just needs to put some weight on, get a little more toughness to him. Obviously, he can rebound. He can play some defense. He just needs to be a little tougher on the offensive side. He can shoot the 3, too. We just got to see him put a little more weight on, I think. He's going to be really, I think, like you said, a project guy. He might play day 1. I don't know. But I think by about year 2 and 3, he's going to be a really solid get for us.
And Carrere's a shooter as well, but real thin. So both those guys need to put a little weight on. So that gives us 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11 players on the roster. So, there's still a few spots out there. We'll see. And I don't know what Coach Odom does as far as rotation-wise, if he's more of a 7 or 8 rotation type of guy. Like
Yeah,
Cody
no,
Bennett
because
was.
I mean, obviously we learned with Bennett, he'd have the rotation wide at the beginning. He'd always narrow it down to about 7 guys or so come tournament time. So, and Barksdale's 225, by the way. So if we could just have it turn into a little more muscle, maybe a little more weight, that'd be great for him.
How tall is Barksdale?
6'8".
6'8".
Posted 6'8". Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So no, that exciting gets for Coach Odom, and really today and before. Well, real quick, I do want to mention one more basketball news. Jason Williford was hired today as an assistant coach for Ed Cooley at Georgetown University. So congratulations to him. We wish him the best of luck. He's always a Who.
Yep, always a Who. Yep, I'm glad for him. That's a nice gig to work over at Georgetown. I really hope things go well for him because that guy is UVA basketball. So.
But and we started with basketball really because that's just where I started at when we were preparing. But football today had a get, and so I think Coach Elliott he got a get, and so Coach Odom said, "Let me hold my drink. Let me get one myself."
That's right.
Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, football got another get today, and have gotten quite a few over the last couple of days. He's been doing Coach Elliott things with a lot of needs with defensive back because we've had some injuries. J.M. Jackson obviously going down. And also the offensive line have had Monroe Mills get injured. We saw Blake Steen enter the portal, which the thing about Steen, I think we talked about a little before. Steen was good. I want to credit Two Guard with his post on X. He was prone to holding calls, though, and I forgot about that. But when you think about Blake Steen, you think back across the season. I feel like he had a couple of holds every single game. It was really frustrating. I love Blake Steen. I wish he could have stayed, but you don't feel as bad about it when you see the guys that Elliott starts to bring in, and his hole's already filled. We've already gotten multiple guys that could play that hole. So he's gone to work. Elliott has 3 defensive back and 3 offensive linemen. He's also had a couple running backs and a defensive end. So he's been getting real busy in the portal. It's really exciting to see. Just added today was the defensive back DeMarcus Crosby from New Mexico State, where we have a little familiar, or is it New Mexico? I always get confused on which one it is at Mendenhall. It's New Mexico. Okay, so that's the wrong one. Regardless, DeMarcus Crosby had an interception and 3 pass breakups. He has 1 year of eligibility left, so getting another veteran presence in there. You have thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, he was second leading tackler on his team last season. Yeah, Coach Elliott, he did a lot of work in the portal. I think he spent every dime that he got in that with that NIL money. But he added DeMarcus Crosby today in the secondary, and then adding Emmanuel Carnley from Miami, who also played at Arizona.
Yeah, that's an exciting get there. I think he's going to end up being good. He actually visited Auburn that we talked about before deciding on Virginia. So if you visit an SEC school like that, you're still deciding on Virginia, you must see something here. That's exciting. I'm excited for him.
Or you saw the dollar signs here. He had 3 years of eligibility left, and that really means nothing anymore because this may be a 1-year deal, and then he might move to the next place.
Hey, we'll take it.
We're excited to get him.
Yeah.
He appeared in 10 games, had 5 pass deflections and 16 tackles last season, so some experience there. And then also we got defensive back Christian Charles from Tennessee, who played safety at Tennessee, but he played corner in 2022 and then missed 23 season with an Achilles injury. Played the 4th most snaps last season as a safety, thanks to Jackie and 24/7 Sports. And also special teams on the punt return team, has a year of eligibility left. Getting a guy from Tennessee, pretty good. He did not play when they played Virginia in the opening game 2 seasons ago.
Man, that was a rough one.
Yeah. So that's two guys in the secondary. I'm just gonna go down real quick. We also added, which this one we talked to last week, Jordan Robinson. If you missed that interview, go check us out on YouTube. That interview, 6'4", 210. He's a big guy,
monster.
The one thing that we talked about on that episode was we were excited to get somebody big who can play up on the receiver. And he said that's what he did at Cincinnati. He excelled at it. However, he was looking forward to coming to Virginia because of the scheme. They thought it'd prepare him more for the NFL of playing some zone and learning some zones. So, but at Cincinnati, that's pretty much all he did was man to man and right up on him on the line. So.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he was a good get. And then real quick, I wanted to talk offensive line. We got David Wollaball Jr.
I'm going to say won the ball.
Okay.
Wollaball. That's my guess. But yeah, he came from Syracuse, also played at Kentucky, played 2 seasons at Kentucky, and played 11 games in 2 seasons with Syracuse, had a season-ending injury in 2023, appeared in 9 games last year with 3 starts, played 258 snaps. He allowed 2 sacks on 174 dropbacks. That is what I like to see. And was one of Syracuse's highest-graded pass blockers according to Pro Football Focus. So I'm excited about him. Our offensive line has got to be good. What everybody said last year coming up to the season, if the offensive line is good, the team will be good. We had some injuries early on to our offensive line last season. We didn't play the best, weren't protecting the quarterback. I know Calandria had a lot of missteps himself, but he didn't get much time. And building up this offensive line like Elliott is really important. We had a couple more as well. McKillen Thomas from Arkansas State, second team All Sun Belt Conference 2023, appeared in 38 games over the last 4 seasons, redshirted his first season. And then there was one more here. From New Mexico, another one, Wallace Unamaba, I think it is. A lot of these weird names, but Wallace Unamaba, I think it is. Played for Coach Mendenhall in 2024, that's right, and started at right tackle and did not allow a sack all season long. So, you got your thoughts?
Yeah, no. Last season we had injury problems on the offensive line, and it was looking bleak to start off here after all the additions. Then with Monroe Mills going down and Blake Steen entering the portal, the concern was coming back, but he just went right back out and doubled down on the offensive line. And I think we got some good depth this season. So hopefully that'll be very helpful for Chandler Morris, who I don't know if you saw. I saw today. He said,
"Oh yeah, I seen it."
What did he come to Virginia to do?
He came to win a national title.
Win a national title. He said he didn't come. He didn't come to win 7 games, 6 games, go to a bowl. He wants to win it all, and that's you got to have.
Yeah, I mean it is as exciting just to hear that, and that's not going to happen. Let's be honest with ourselves. But the fact that we have this offensive line built up is so exciting because I really hope they last because we've had offensive line issues ever since Bronco left. I'd say we've had terrible offensive line issues, and I think we're built up enough now. We still got Mikhail Boley if he's healthy. Noah Josie's healthy, isn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
And all these transfer gets, they're all going to pair well together. I think we're going to be deep enough to the point where we're going to have a couple of nice guys sitting backing up people as well, which is really good to see to have that depth in case somebody does go down. Hey, next guy up makes the deals. It's real good.
And then when you look at the schedule, it's a very winnable schedule.
Yeah, no, if they're going to do it, if they're going to have a good 8-win season, 7-win season, this year's the year. I mean, last year's schedule was so tough. But when you have an easier schedule like this year and you pair it with one of the best the best transfer portal class that they've ever had by far, and it's ending up being one of the better ones in the entire country, now is your year. And I hate to say it, if you don't do a good season this year, it might be up for Coach Elliott. He's got such good resources this year. It's a lot of excitement. Also, are we going to talk? Did you guys already talk about the old Colorado situation, the running back we got?
We did, but I was going to bring it up. But we have so then also we added 2 more running backs, and it's just surprising to me because I thought
I was pretty happy with what we had.
Jamari Taylor and Xavier
X Brown.
Yeah, I thought and then we also we had pieces, and I guess you can't ever get too deep, but I mean these are good pieces they added. I thought, and they added Harrison Whaley from Wyoming first. Only played in 4 games last season, which allowed him to keep his red shirt. So I think he's got 2 years of eligibility left. But in 23, He rushed for 947 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's a big guy, 5'10", 212. I kind of like that. A little bit on the shorter.
Yeah, no,
big
kind of
guy.
has some quickness to him and explode up to through the gap of the offensive line. Hey, yeah, we're really deep at running back now with those two gets. Obviously, you just mentioned X Brown, Jamar Taylor. Now we've got these two gets. And listen, one of the other things that makes this so good is it promotes competition. We talk about Cleveland. Cleveland's quarterback room in the NFL. They have 4 quarterbacks that have all started before, that are all starting worthy potentially. You're going to have all these running backs battling for starting spots, and all that's going to do is promote competition. It's going to make each and every one of them better every single day, and we're going to see who wants the job the most. Hey, Jamar Taylor looked really good in that spring game. Yeah. We were kind of thinking we'd see a lot of him coming up the season. Obviously, Xavier Brown has had a lot of bright spots last year. He's really quick, so I like him as that kind of pass-catching receiving back, kind of running those wheel routes, maybe on the screens. And then you bring these two guys in. You have the guy from Colorado, Isaiah Augustave, I don't know. But just excited to get him out of Colorado. Obviously, there was all the drama with Deion calling Virginia, whatever. But was a 4-star prospect, ranked number 13 among the nation's running back prospects coming out of high school. Scored 4 touchdowns, had 11 catches, and was Colorado's leading rusher in 2024 with 384 yards. So really exciting stuff.
Now, he's a big back too, so
yeah,
I'll be interested to see how Coach Elliott uses these guys.
I love to see a mix-up with the running backs, not the same guy over and over.
Yeah. Yep. So Coach Elliott's got the pieces, it appears, and he's gone out and spent the money. So now,
I mean, yeah, you could. Yeah, it's exciting.
I don't know if the over/under for Virginia will be making any changes soon, but they were 5.5. I feel like it's just easy money.
I mean, we said it. I mean, they were 4.5 last year or 3.5 last year. We hit the over. It was real low last year, and we thought it was super low, and it ended up being low, but obviously not as crazy as we thought. It feels the same way this year. It feels.
I say I need the bookie to go make me a bet out of the state.
Go to the state border.
Let me drop.
Drive down to North Carolina.
Give me a couple thousand that Virginia is going to hit the over 5.5.
You got to believe they're going to hit the over. I mean, the schedule is just lining up for them this year. I mean, you're opening up the year against Coastal Carolina that they should beat, and William & Mary coming up 2 weeks after that. I mean, and then the ACC schedule overall, they're not playing Clemson again. They're not playing. So they do get FSU at home under the lights, which is going to be really interesting. But, we're going to get to a lot more of that later on. But as far as this roster goes, the roster construction just looks outstanding, really. I mean, you look at every position, and it's somebody that's transferred from a bigger school, or you're looking at guys who have been here for a couple of years. The receiving room is going to be really interesting. Jamal Edrine, obviously, who transferred in, Jaden Thomas. And then people who are returning. Terrell Harris, people forget about him when he went down last year. Going to be important to see what he can do at the outside. And then Cam Courtney, who made some noise in the spring game, is going to be really interesting to do. I think he's going to play some slot, so that'll be cool as well. And then Andre Green from UNC a couple years ago, we'll see if he gets any time as well. And then the tight end position too, Dakota Twitty, obviously we've talked a lot about, has a lot of potential. And Say Genius, wasn't there rumors going around about a tight end leaving? Did we ever find that out?
Yeah, no,
if anything happened?
No, but there was, the rumor mill was out there on that.
Gotcha. But that offense is looking good. And like I said,
you've also got the freshmen too. You got Josiah Abdullah.
Yeah. There's so much. They are
Isaiah
deep.
Robinson that you talked to, Dylan Newton-Short.
Yeah. They're deep. They are deep. And again, promoting competition, because these young guys, they want to get in there, and they're going to be mentored by these veteran receivers. And before you know, it's going to be their time. And listen, I'm excited. There's a lot of weapons on this offensive front. And then you're talking about the offensive linemen. That's so important. I mean, we talked about it all of last year. You got to build up those trenches, because without them, your quarterback's going to go down 13 times a game, and there's just nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do, especially with how Coach Elliott and Coach Kitchens love to run the ball a lot. You got to have a good offensive line for that. And again, with those running backs, I love to see how they mix it up. Again, I see X Brown as being that speedster. He could be a pass-catching running back. You could see him all over the place. The kid from Colorado, obviously more of a power back, Jamari Taylor, who looked really good. I'm just really intrigued by how Kitchens and Elliott are going to mix up the running game, who's going to play when and whatnot. So,
all right. Well, yep, looking forward to it.
Yep.
So as we wrap up this episode, we want to mention a couple undrafted Who players that are now working to make the NFL roster. So first one was Chris Tyree signed with the Colts. Probably a lot of the work that he did in Notre Dame is what they're seeing on tape. Last year was a struggle. And then friend of the show, Tyler Neville, let us down. He signed with the Cowboys. The Commanders didn't come through anyway. So we're happy for him. I got a pull for him when he's not on the same
field as Washington.
But so Tyler Neville.
I'm really excited for Tyler. I mean, that's a hard worker. That's one of the, I'm here to tell you right now. That's one of the hardest workers in that entire draft room. Well, definitely one of the hardest tight end workers in that draft room. Expect to see more out of him.
Yep, and then so that's going to kind of take us to this week's Mincer's moment, and this was awesome here.
Talk about all of that. Here's the Saints' latest pick.
With the 93rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Jonas Sanker, defensive back, Virginia.
Talk about all of that. Here's.
So pretty cool there. Jack, if you want your name called for the NFL Draft or myself, you better get on Madden because our names are getting called like that. But 3rd round pick for Jonas Sanker is pretty cool, and that's exciting for him. We wish him nothing but the best, and that's our winner of this week's Mincer's moment, and quite the moment it was.
Yeah, no, awesome from him. Again, and I'm biased on all these guys. I'll be the first to tell you I'm biased, but Jonas Sanker's a dog. I'm convinced if he was playing for an SEC or Big Ten school last year, he'd have gotten so much more light. That's potentially one of the best safeties in the entire nation. That guy is unbelievable. He single-handedly won some football games for Virginia down the stretch. He won that Pitt game for Virginia. He won that Boston College game for Virginia, I'd say. I mean, he was so good. Expect to see him do well for New Orleans. I really hope the best for him. That guy is really good. I'm really excited for him.
Yep.
So that's going to wrap us up for today. I think it is. Hey, we had a lot of fun talking about the basketball team, Odom skits, Elliott skits as well for football. Hey, real excited for football season. Obviously, we're excited for basketball too, but it's kind of on the back burner when you talk about how long we got to wait till the next basketball season. There's still some more work for Coach Odom to do that we're going to get to in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But obviously, right now, man, football, really important. Elliott's done his thing in the portal. I don't think he's done yet, but man, there's only so many more roster spots, you say, for the football team. So we're going to dive more into that in the coming weeks. Be sure to stay tuned on the YouTube channel at Cavalier Connection, as we'll have you covered with all the portal gets and much more. For Jack Lowe and my dad, Jeff Lowe, any closing thoughts, Dad?
Nope. We'll release, as we're recording this, we'll release this in a couple of hours, and there could be more signings.
I was going to say, there might be another signing. Yeah, there might be a signing. So be sure to go follow the X at Talk UVA Sports and much more for much more content as well. And that's going to wrap it up for us. Go Hoos.
Go Hoos.